Imagine this. You walk into a room. You don't say a word. No smile, no exaggerated energy. Just stillness. But somehow, every eye slowly turns to you. Not because of your clothes, not because of how loud you are, but because of what you carry. An invisible gravity. Something ancient. Something unshakable. People feel it. They can't explain it. But they remember you. They think about you long after you're gone. Why? Because you're not like them. You're not trying to impress. You're not chasing attention. You embody something deeper, something stoic. This is not about being liked. This is about being felt. And that presence, that rare, almost primitive energy, it's what the ancient Stoics mastered. And in this world of noise, distraction, and desperate validation, it's the most powerful advantage you can have. Today, you'll learn how to build it, not through tricks or tactics, but through timeless wisdom, the kind that forged emperors, warriors, and legends. Let's begin. Part 1. The psychology of presence, why they think about you. People don't think about those who scream for attention. They think about those who don't need it. In a hyper-reactive world, stillness stands out. When you don't flinch, when you don't rush to explain yourself, when you say less, you force people to fill the silence with their own thoughts about you. And that's where power begins. The Stoics knew that mystery creates value. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more who is poor. The man who needs attention loses it. The man who doesn't draws it naturally." Part 2. Marcus Aurelius, silent authority. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man on earth, yet he walked like a servant of duty, not a slave to ego. He rarely showed anger. He listened more than he spoke. He was quiet in power, not loud in fear. His journal, Meditations, was never meant for others, just for himself. Why does this matter? Because inner reflection builds outer presence. People think about you when they can sense you are guided by something bigger, something deeper. Stoicism teaches that when you speak less and observe more, you develop the power to choose not just your words, but your impact. Part 3. The primitive mindset. Command respect without saying a word. In tribal times, the leader didn't need to shout. His stillness was his signal. His ability to stay calm during threat, to not react emotionally, is what made him alpha. Fast forward to today, we're still wired the same way. People are drawn to the one who speaks less, doesn't over-explain, observes deeply, chooses his energy with intention. That's not manipulation. That's mastery. This is what Stoicism helps you unlock. Part 4. The invisible test. How the world measures you, quietly. Most people are failing a test they don't even know they're taking. Every day, the world throws you small provocations. Someone disrespects you. Someone ignores your message. Someone brags to trigger your ego. And most people react. They chase. They argue. They explain. But when you're stoic, you pass the test. You let people show their character while you remain unshaken. And in that silence, they remember you. Why? Because you didn't fall into the trap. You made them question their own behavior. That's rare. And that's why they keep thinking about you. Part 5. Epictetus's weapon. The dichotomy of control. Epictetus, born a slave, became one of the most influential Stoic teachers. He taught one thing over and over. Some things are up to us and some things are not. The more you focus on controlling others, the weaker you look. The more you control yourself, your actions, emotions, and words, the more powerful you become. People think about those who don't try to control them, but master themselves. This creates peace, presence, respect. Part 6, Stoic silence. Let them chase your mystery. Don't explain everything. Don't reveal every thought. Leave space. Let people wonder what you're thinking. Modern man overshares. The Stoic man guards his inner world. This silence is not cold. It's intentional. And because it's rare, it makes people want to understand you more. That curiosity, that desire to know more, that's what makes people think about you long after the conversation ends. Part 7. Presence in conflict. When they push, you hold the line. When conflict arises, most people raise their voice. A Stoic lowers his tone. When accused, most people defend themselves instantly. A Stoic pauses, breathes, and responds only when necessary. This is power. And when you demonstrate this once, just once, people see you differently forever. Part 8. The Stoic rituals to build a magnetic mind. Want to embody this energy? Here's the blueprint. 1. Morning Stoic prep. Before you check your phone, ask, what situations might test me today? How would Marcus Aurelius respond? 2. Midday. Anchor. Take 2 minutes, breathe, observe your emotional state. If triggered, delay your reaction. 3. Evening reflection. What moment today required strength? Did I respond or react? What will I do better tomorrow? These small practices, over time, rewire your entire presence. Part 9. The 3 energies that make you unforgettable. 1. Restraint. Hold back when others indulge. This creates contrast. 2. Reflection. See deeper than others. Speak after understanding, not before. 3. Rarity. In a loud world, silence is rare. And what's rare is valuable. Combine all 3, and people won't forget you. Part 10. Final story. The man they couldn't shake. There's a story about Cato, a Roman Stoic. He wore simple clothes, walked barefoot, ate plain food, and when mocked or insulted in public, he smiled. Said nothing, walked on. Once a man followed him, yelling slurs for hours. Cato never responded. Eventually, the man stopped, exhausted. And the crowd looked at Cato, not with pity, but with awe, because that kind of restraint, that kind of power over your own emotions, it's unforgettable. Closing, your mission begins now. You don't need to beg for respect. You don't need to chase validation. You need only one thing: master yourself. Train your mind. Control your energy. Let your presence speak louder than your words. And remember, they will think about you not because you tried to impress them, but because you walked with depth, purpose, and inner silence. That's stoicism. That's your new power.